Hey, what is up and how's it going? All MRBers, and welcome to another video with me, Mike McRock, and I am one half of the McRock and Bolt, that is, the MRB Wrestling Review Show. Right now I'm going to do a segment that I haven't done in a very long time. I don't know how long it's been since I've done one of these, but it is a segment called Superstar Spotlight. And on this installment of Superstar Spotlight, I got the one, the only, the one who followed the buzzards, the eater of worlds, Bray Wyatt. Real name, Wyndham Lawrence Rotunda. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk about all his accolades and stuff like that, but I do want to do this video, and I feel like it is the right time to do it. You know, I've waited a few days to really let this feeling sink in about what happened to Bray Wyatt just a few days ago, and it still feels surreal. It really, really does. Now, in case if you're wondering if you didn't know, what happened was that Bray Wyatt passed away. He was only 36 years old. He passed away of a heart attack due to complications of COVID and things of that nature. And I remember several months ago, I saw reports that Bray Wyatt had fallen ill. He had some sort of illness. I didn't know exactly what was going on. And so I thought, okay, he'll get better, I hope, and he'll make another return. That was not the case this time. All I want to say is life is short. Life is short, and just live every day like it's your last, because it probably is. And that is a quote from the series finale, actually, of one of my favorite shows called Angel. And it's very true. Very, very true. Life is short. This is, like I said earlier in the video, a installment of Superstar Spotlight. That is Bray Wyatt. And it's not going to be just Bray Wyatt that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the Wyatt family as well. And I'm going to do this a little bit different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to name 3 of my favorite matches involving Bray Wyatt, plus my top 5 favorite moments, with an honorable mention of Bray Wyatt as well. And I'm going to start with the matches. Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble 2014. What a fantastic match that was. The build-up to that was perfect. I loved everything about it. Daniel Bryan breaking free from the Wyatt family. That was the whole story behind it. Just an outstanding match. The Elimination Chamber match from... what year was that? Someone probably in the comment section can tell me what year the match was. It was The Shield versus the Wyatt family, and before they even touched, the fans were chanting, "Holy shit!" I mean, just that alone. I mean, you could feel the audience. They were feeling this match, and this match delivered in spades. And the skit. Well, it's not necessarily a match, but it's a skit. It was Bray Wyatt as The Fiend in a Firefly Funhouse. It was a Firefly Funhouse match with John Cena. And I'm pretty vocal about not being a huge fan of John Cena. But in this case, I'm pro John Cena here. John Cena was excellent throughout this skit. And Bray Wyatt got the best out of him, I think. The best way I can describe this skit, this match, is like you're in a dream. That's what it feels like. Things don't make sense, but it all works. It's magic. That's one thing that Bray Wyatt is able to do, is to create magic. I mentioned that his promos are fantastic. He's one of the best talkers of the modern era. I really truly believe that. And there's quite a few of them. You got guys like LA Knight and MJF. And that's just a couple of guys. I could go on and on and on about some of the great talkers in the 2020s and in the 2010s as well. And Bray Wyatt is one of those guys high on that list as one of the best talkers on the microphone. His ability to connect to the audience was fantastic. He's got charisma. He's got everything. And when it comes to my favorite moments, really Bray Wyatt to me is all about moments. And let's just get right to it. Number 5. My number 5 favorite moment of Bray Wyatt, SummerSlam 2019, when he debuted as The Fiend against Finn Balor. This is a match that didn't need to go long. It was pretty much enhancement, squash Finn Balor, get the hell out of Dodge, but just make an impressive debut. And that's all The Fiend really needed to do, and he done just that. It was a necessary change. At first, when I saw The Fiend, I'm thinking, definitely not the swamp cult leader I'm used to, because that was my favorite incarnation of Bray and still is. But The Fiend is a close second. I wasn't a fan of what they done later on with The Fiend. It's hard to book someone like The Fiend. That they took that character into an oblivion when they fed him to Goldberg. But when it came to The Fiend's debut match with Finn Balor, that was fantastic. The entrance of The Fiend, I mean, that's all you need. That is all you really need. The whole presentation, the aura surrounding it, oh, beautiful. Simply quite beautiful. Number 4, Bray Wyatt's Raw debut. And it wasn't just Bray, it was with Luke Harper and also, rest in peace Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan. And I thought they had an impressive debut as the Wyatt family when they came out and destroyed Kane on Monday Night Raw. Bray Wyatt, John Cena, WrestleMania 30. I did not like the finish of that. And you can go back to my WrestleMania 30 review with Clint right by me, and he can tell you as well, I was not a fan of that. Bray Wyatt needed to go over in that match. It was good leading up to it, but then the finish, So yeah, the only trouble with the whole Bray Wyatt character and the Fiend character was just not necessarily the debuts itself, but the follow through. But Bray Wyatt, his debut with the Wyatt family on Monday Night Raw, that in itself, in its own little bubble, was really good for me. And that's why it's at number 4. Coming in at number 3 as my favorite Bray Wyatt moment, Bray Wyatt's final farewell on NXT. First, we get the Wyatt family in a short, quick match against the Vaudevillains. And then we get Bray Wyatt delivering a promo saying goodbye to NXT for now, but if you need anything, you know where to find me. That was pretty much his promo. His final promo on NXT, and I thought that moment was really damn good. That's why it's in this top 5. Number 2, Bray Wyatt's NXT debut, and this was before, maybe about a couple of weeks before the Minions, the Wyatt family came into it, when Luke Harper and Eric Rowan came into it. This was just before that. Now, one of the people, when I started watching, and actually, let me rephrase that. When I started watching NXT back in the summer of 2012, when it shifted from a reality show to a wrestling show, that's when I started watching it, and I look for new fresh faces. I see guys like Seth Rollins and Bo Dallas and Adrian Neville and Oliver Gray, Corey Graves, Big E Langston, The Ascension, just to name many. But one of the main top guys that I always look forward to every week when I started watching NXT in 2012 was Bray Wyatt. And I've seen a couple of vignettes leading up to Bray's debut. You know, he's this cult leader in a swamp, and he's wearing the Hawaiian shirt and the hat. And about a couple of weeks later, he comes out. He's cutting a promo, and he's in a debut match against Aiden English, who later on became a vaudevillain afterwards. Just as a side note. And when I first saw Bray Wyatt's debut on NXT, I'm thinking they got something special here. And that's a key word when it comes to describing Bray Wyatt, and that is special. But as for my number one favorite Bray Wyatt moment of all time, I think you know what it is. Extreme Rules 2022, when Bray Wyatt returned. Holy mother of God! I was sobbing like a baby when he returned. Oh, let's briefly run down this. So, back in 2020, Vince McMahon fires Bray Wyatt. And I'm thinking, oh no, he's not coming back, is he? I mean, there's just no way now. He's gone. What does Bray Wyatt do now? Then, flash forward, about a year and a half, 2 years, a couple of months before, I think it was roughly about a couple or a few months leading up to Extreme Rules 2022, we start to see these little skits and little, not necessarily promos, but just like little clues, little videos of these VR codes. No, not VR. What's the word I'm thinking of? Those now my mind's blanking. QR codes. That's right, QR codes. And we saw these videos of these QR codes for about a couple of months or so, leading up to, like, what is this leading up to? The whole campaign I thought was brilliant. Still do. Still think so to this very day. One of the best build up to a return in quite some time. I mean, there's really two I can think of. There was the creepy videos from 2012 leading up to Jericho, and then I think of these, the QR codes, the videos, the White Rabbit, the song from Jefferson Airplane, playing in house shows and things like that, and we see the big red light coming down. All leading up to Bray Wyatt's return. Now, before Bray Wyatt actually came out, we have the Firefly Funhouse characters come to life. We see them in the audience. The lights dimmed, all the fireflies around. And then we cut to the video with all the Firefly Funhouse, the whole Uncle Howdy stuff. And then you see the door, and out comes the lantern. And then there's Bray Wyatt. And the fans erupted. The fans exploded in excitement. And me watching this in real time, Extreme Rules 2022, I thought to myself, This has to be one of the best returns I've seen in a very long time. One of the best. Still do think to this day, I understand that one of the key elements to making a return is the follow through, and it was tough to follow through after that return. They were kind of going back and forth, and with Bray after that. But I will throw this in as an honorable mention. The SmackDown after Extreme Rules that year. Bray Wyatt come out and he cut a promo, and it wasn't The Fiend, it wasn't Bray Wyatt, it was Wyndham Rotunda cutting a promo. That was as real as it gets with Wyndham Rotunda coming out on SmackDown, delivering his speech. And then we get the whole program with him and LA Knight leading up to the Mountain Dew Lights Out match. All thoughts of that aside, the one positive I could say about that match is look where LA Knight was then, and look where LA Knight is now. And the SmackDown tribute to I do want to briefly mention this too. The SmackDown tribute to Bray Wyatt not too long after he passed away. I loved it. One of my favorite SmackDowns. One of my favorite SmackDowns for sure. There's like, it's just, how do I say this? There's certain SmackDowns that really stand the test of time, that really stand out to me. SmackDown's debut, the 9/11 tribute, the Eddie Guerrero tribute, and we won't talk about the other tribute, and the Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk tribute. That was brilliant. That was beautiful. I loved it. What Bray Wyatt meant to me was everything. Everything what a WWE superstar is. You look at Bray Wyatt, and you could say that he is a wrestler. You look at Bray Wyatt and you see something special. It's magic. Anytime Bray Wyatt talks, any time when Bray Wyatt creates some sort of story, most of it came, I'd say pretty much all of it came through his mind. Pretty much almost everything he done was magic. What Bray Wyatt meant to me is exactly all that. Special. Magnificent. I could go on and on. But I do want to end with this. Thank you, Bray Wyatt. It sucks that you're gone. But I know you're duking it out or having a tag team match with Luke Harper up there in heaven. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Bray Wyatt. Another thing just crossed my mind. WWE Hall of Fame 2024 Bray Wyatt. On that note, thank you for watching, and get plenty of rest, and always do your best.